Hello, my name is Teacher Evelyn and I work for VIPKID, and I wanted to talk to you today about adapting to your student. We get students from all different levels, especially if you are a certification hoarder like me, and like I suggest you should be if you want bookings. We have to adjust our teaching style according to our student. Now, the things that go into checking how you need to adjust your teaching style is you take into account their age, their personality, their English ability, their likes and dislikes, and the parents' expectations. Some things that are going to adapt is your vocabulary, your conversations, your TPR usage, your rewards, the speed in which you talk, and whether or not you use incidental language. What is TPR? What is incidental language? I'm going to cover all of this. All right. First, I'm going to talk about level 1. Now, even within level 1, there's going to be different teaching styles depending on the student, if you want to adapt to their needs. For example, with level 1, generally speaking, they want us to avoid all incidental language. That means don't overcomplicate the lesson. If they want you to teach a specific phrase, just teach that phrase. Repeat that phrase 3 times, whatever you want to do, but don't go off on a tangent talking about it. Because remember, our students are beginners. They're 3 and 4 years old. They have no idea what you're talking about. The same goes for level 2. Level 2 is basically level 1, except for it's older kids, like 5, 6 years old. So levels 1 and beginner level 2, generally speaking, you don't want to use incidental language. You want to stick to the curriculum, stick to the word usage they want to use. Don't add in a bunch of conversation. That being said, you can use simple language. You can say, if you're talking about pizza, you can say, oh, do you like pizza? And you're going to be using props and maybe hold up a heart, hold up a plastic pizza and say, do you like pizza? And see, I'm using motions and props to show them to, and I'm speaking slowly and carefully. Now, that's not true for all level 1 and 2, actually, because we're taking into account also the student's ability and the parents' expectations. I have one student named Summer, and I've quickly learned that Summer's mom wants me to extend as much as possible. She's already taught him basic English. He already knows basic English, and he's a quick learner. So she doesn't want me treating him like a baby, even though he's only 4 years old. He already knows his alphabet. He already knows his colors. He already knows his numbers. Don't waste time on that, or you can review it, but she wants him to learn more than just what's on the lesson. She wants me to extend. So I use my reward as an extension. I will give him an animal, and we'll talk about the animal name because I know he doesn't know his animals yet. So we'll say, or maybe he knows some of them, but not all of them. Lion, and also I'm catering to his personality. He's an active boy. He wants to go. He wants to show me his toys. He wants to get out his Nerf gun. He wants to show me his book of animals. He wants to be distracted. He takes bathroom breaks. But he's one of my regulars, and so, but I've learned that Mama wants me to extend with him, but I have to extend on his level so that he understands. So that's just one word things like lion. This is a lion. Roar. So I'm using his personality plus what Mama wants me to do. Okay, so, but also personality, if you have a trial with a level 1 student, I've talked about this before. If you have a student who is terrified and you try using a puppet and they're more terrified because of the puppet, that puppet goes away. If you have a student who's terrified and you start using a puppet and it makes them interested and makes them excited to learn, suddenly you're going to be using puppets more throughout your class. So you need to adapt according to their personality, which you're picking up on as you're teaching. Sometimes I give my students options of rewards, because today I was teaching a little girl that I remembered last time. I gave her the Frozen, Elsa and Anna reward. And this time I started to say, you get bananas for Monkey. And she started to get teary-eyed. So what I said is, do you want Frozen, Elsa and Anna? Or do you want Monkey and Bananas? And she said, that one. I said, this one? She said, yeah. So we didn't have a meltdown, because I was starting to realize she does not want bananas. She probably rebooked me because I'm the teacher with the Frozen rewards. So I'm going to take a note of that, and she's going to get her favorite reward every time. So we're picking up on their social cues and adapting our styles to them. I just taught a couple of older boys in a row, and I decided, instead of assuming that I know which they would pick, which I think they would pick the Dino Dollar reward, they're older. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel like they have a choice. So I still give them a choice. I say, would you like ice cream or money? Ice cream or money? And they decide. And if they choose ice cream, that's fine. But both of them chose the money, but I think they were even happier about the money because they got to pick it. So rather than me just saying, oh, this is an older boy, he's going to want Dino Dollars, I let them have the choice so that they feel empowered. They feel like, oh, I got to pick money. That's pretty cool, right? So these older boys that I just taught, different times, obviously, I didn't have to use a lot of TPR with them because they understand conversational English. I'm not like, how are you today? They'd be like, oh my gosh, I have a preschool teacher and I'm 12 years old. You know what I mean? So you have to adapt. You could say, can you read for me? Great reading. And underline maybe one word they messed up on. And say it for them, have them repeat. When they get it right, then reward them and say, you're doing excellent. Another thing that was pointed out to me that I've been doing correctly, but I didn't even realize that I was doing it, is the way you encourage your student changes according to their level. With level 1, we say, good job, you get an ice cream. Blue ice cream. Good job, good job, good job. All class long. You use the same word because they're learning basic English. An older student, you're not going to say, good job, good job, good job, good job. And I already did this because I have experience with this, with teaching different ages. I say, excellent, great English, you're so smart. At different times I say, oh, you did such an excellent job that you get a gold trophy. Awesome. So this is a 12-year-old boy. He doesn't need me to say, good job, good job, good job, good job. So I try to say different things. But for the younger kids, they need that basic English repeated over and over again. But if they have good conversational English, if they're an upper level or have great conversational English, you're not going to be speaking so slow. Level 1, very slow. I have a cat. Cat. Yes, I have a cat. Very good. You get a star. Yay. You're not going to talk that way to an older child. You would say, can you read for me? Wow. We're learning about horses and how they have hooves. How many hooves does a horse have? And I might get out a horse. And we'll talk about 4 hooves. Great job. You're so smart. You get a star. So you see, I'm becoming their friend on their level. I might be their entertainment when they're little, but I'm their friend when they're older. The speed in which you talk changes. Can you read for me? Thanks. Great job. We're talking about the Great Wall of China and the Terracotta Warriors. Do you know how many terracotta warriors are there? 8,000. Isn't that interesting? Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, you learned about that in your Chinese book. That is so awesome. Thank you for telling me. All right, let's read on the next slide. Can you read for me? Great job. Great reading. I just have to correct this one word. Terracotta. Terracotta. I might use my whiteboard and write it down. If they're saying the word over and over again incorrectly, sometimes I write down how they're pronouncing it. I write an X over the letter that they're saying wrong. Like, say instead of bird, they're saying board. And it's over and over again. I say bird. And they say board. Bird. Board. Bird. Board. We're going to do this all day. So I write down board. B-O-R-D. And I X out the O. And I'll write bird correctly underneath. And I'll say not board. Bird. Bird. And then seeing that, I'm a visual learner and some of my students may be as well. So using your whiteboard is another way you can adapt to your student. You have some students who are more ornery. Let me tell you about Andy. Andy likes to tell me, no teacher, give me a star. I like coffee. I don't want to play. I don't want to do this. Ha 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 ha. And I just laugh him off because he's trying to be funny. He's being a class clown. When I draw hearts on the screen, he breaks them. And oh, you broke my heart. I draw another heart and he breaks it again. And he thinks it's so funny, so he keeps booking me. But I use his orneriness to my advantage because I'm pulling him into a conversation. He wants to be ornery. Let's talk about that and quickly get back on topic. He wants to talk about coffee. I'm going to show him my coffee cup and be like, oh, you can have some of mine. You know, you like coffee? Okay, here you go. And he says he wants a star. I'm like, okay, you have to earn it. Can you read this paragraph for me? All right, now you get a star. You don't dictate when I give you stars if you're being ornery, you know. So, and with the younger students, some of them may be very shy. Some of them may love puppets. Some of them might not. A lot of them love me to incorporate dino, especially if they have a dino. They might have their own stuffed animal or their own toy. Incorporate it and use it. Say, I have my lion puppet out and you have your teddy bear. Let's make them say roar because that's in the lesson. Roar, you know, roar, great job, you get a star, you know. So, adaptability. Where did I learn this from? I started off babysitting. I used to babysit different ages. I learned that older siblings can be given responsibilities. Younger siblings are more dependent on you. I was a camp counselor and they trained us and taught us that when you're teaching preschool level, you are their guardian. You are their parental figure. When you have a preteen, they are your friend. You are not their parental figure. And so your way of teaching changes. I worked as an ELL teacher's aide from kindergarten through 6th grade. The kindergartners were teaching them through play. The 6th graders were sitting down and reading with them. When I was a tutor with middle schoolers and high schoolers, the high schoolers are writing huge essays and the middle schoolers are maybe doing a project with science class and doing some art or something. So it changes according to their age, and how much you're helping them is according to their abilities. But you talk to them on their level. So some of my experience helped it come as second nature how you treat different ages differently. But I realized that other VIPKID teachers, maybe they're only experienced with little ones or only bigger ones. I'm a more versatile teacher where I actually enjoy the variety. If I have level 1 all day long, it's a bit exhausting because we use a lot more energy for level 1s because they need us to be like, yeah. This is the letter A, apple, yeah, you know, and the older ones are like, yeah, can you read for me? Let's talk about it, you know. So I enjoy if I have like level 1, level 3, level 1, level 4, because then it's like, oh, I get to sing some songs, I get to listen to some reading, I get to sing some songs, I get to listen to some reading. So I'm a more versatile teacher, and maybe you are too, that it's enjoyable because you're not teaching the same lesson over and over, because it can get monotonous, boring, repetitive. So I enjoy being a certification hoarder and being able to teach as many levels as possible, because that way if I'm singing a song, doing a dance in one class, then the next class my student's reading to me, so I'm not using up all my energy, and I'm able to do a variety of things and teach a variety of kids, and it's a lot of fun. I hope this video was helpful for you. Happy teaching. Thanks. Bye.